What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday, a spot where I get Scentsy reviews out to you each week. Now, this week we have a scent of the month, we have a licensed bar, and we have part of the holiday wax collection. So, let's get started. All right, let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Vanilla Chestnut. This is upcoming scent of the month for October with Scentsy, and it's this orange-brown colored wax. I would say on cold sniff it's about a medium intensity, and Scentsy has put this in the spice category. It had 25% of your vote. Let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, creamy chestnuts and sugared spice cozy up in the shelter of vanilla woods. So for the category, I would say this is either a wood scent or a spice scent. Now, I would classify this as an old school style scent. It's a little bit dry. There's an earthiness. I feel like there's a little bit of patchouli in here, and there's a lot of clove. There's a lot of clove and kind of old school spice, but no cinnamon that I can smell. And I would say I'd get a woods. Now, when I smelled this on cold sniff, it reminded me of two scents, and one of them it took me a while to remember the name, but the very first one it reminded me of was Vanilla Suede. And the other one it reminded me of is the Bring Back My Bar scent, Fallen Leaves, which I believe has clove, cinnamon, and patchouli or something like that. But if you can imagine Vanilla Suede and Fallen Leaves put together, that's what I get. Now, everybody's sniffer differs, so you might not get that, but that's what I get. I find it's not sweet. They say it's sweet. I find it's not sweet. They talk about chestnuts. I don't know if I get a lot of chestnuts, but they would support all those scent notes that I'm getting. And they talk about vanilla. I feel like I don't get a lot of vanilla, but it does remind me of Vanilla Suede, so perhaps it's a special type of vanilla that's in there. So let's talk about performance, because I surveyed my family and I said to them, what do you think when you smell this on cold? What would you give it out of 10? So my husband said 5 out of 10. Erica said, I don't like it, which is not a shocker, 4 out of 10. And Ryan gave it a 7 out of 10. So with those marks, I thought, well, I'll put it in the open concept because I have scent of the month bars and I have enough to use. So I put 6 cubes in the open layout. So I do have an empty bar here. 6 cubes in the open layout amongst 3 warmers. Strength at max was probably about 9 out of 10. This scent did very well in performance. I left it going 3 full days. And then I was kind of over it by that stage. I would say on the 3rd day it was maybe still about 4 out of 10. This was very long lasting for me. And the other spot I warmed 1 cube in my entranceway, and that has a glass mini warmer. I use it for light purposes, but I would say in the glass mini warmer it was above average performance in terms of strength and longevity. We're on day 3 now, and I can still smell it when I walk by. So the scent performance on this is great. It's just not a type of scent that I would choose to warm. It's not sweet, it's a little bit dry, it's a little bit earthy, and I feel like there's patchouli in there. If I had still been in my old house, I would have probably warmed this in my overnight warmers, or I don't think the garage, but you never know. I think this is a fall and winter scent that you could warm anytime between now and when the snow goes away. I would say for areas, you could warm it in any area of your home because it is strong enough to support an open layout, and wherever else you want to choose to warm it, I'll leave that up to you. The longevity is above average, and it does bring me back to the value of an old school Scentsy scent. So even though it's not a scent that I would repurchase based on scent appeal, there's going to be a lot of people that love this type of scent, and for those people, I would say it's a great scent because performance is great. So that is Vanilla Chestnut. All right, let's talk about our second place scent for the week. It is from Beetlejuice. It's Showtime. Now, this one had 19% of the vote. It's this neon green colored wax. Scentsy has put this in the floral section, and on cold sniff, I would say it's about a medium intensity, and this one had 19% of the vote. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, white jasmine, enlivened with notes of sparkling orange, rises from a deep forest fusion. Now, when I first smelled this, I noticed that there was a floral tendency, but I also found something that reminded me of a creamy vanilla or a creamy something in the background. And I've heard other people say that this scent reminds them a little bit of a bakery, and I feel like it's along that line as well. This reminds me of that type of scent like Sugar Blossom, where it was a floral bakery and they didn't know where to put it. So this one, it feels like a floral bakery tone, and they didn't really know where to put it, so they put it in the floral. So when I smelled this, I wasn't sure what I thought about it, so I thought I'm going to warm it, but let's see what the family thinks of it, because that will help me decide where I'm going to warm it. All right, so my husband smelled this and he said 4 out of 10, and that's kind of low for him. So Erica said she didn't like it. She also gave it a 4 out of 10. Ryan really liked it with 9.5 out of 10. So that made it easy. I thought I'm going to put it in the boys' room. Now I put it in the boys' room and immediately it started throwing. It did very, very well in the boys' room. It reminded me of like a little bit of a chemical smell with like an air freshener trying to cover up a chemical smell. At first, for the first few hours, I really didn't care for it. Then it kind of settled into its own, and I would say it was more of a floral, fresh, a little bit of bakery, and I enjoyed it for the medium part of the warming. And then towards the end, it started to change again, and there was something about it that I wasn't even really sure what it was. I would say before it got to the stage that I didn't care for, I felt like there was a bit of a confectionery tone to it, even almost like a tendency towards bubblegum or some sort of candy confection with floral freshness. Okay, so a little bit strange, but I was going with it. Now, towards the end, it reminded me of something that I smelled in the hospital. Drew has been in the hospital a lot throughout his life, and something in there reminded me of that. So that was on day 3, and I let it run its course, and then I removed it. So in the boys' room, I would say it was starting out around 8.5 on day 1. Day 2 was about 7. And on the 3rd day, it was maybe 3 to 4 out of 10. So I did remove it on day 3, and I used 3 cubes there. So in the kids' bathroom, I decided to warm 2 other cubes. Now, the kids' bathroom is kind of the dark hole or the black hole bathroom. Scents struggle there a little bit, and it didn't perform quite as well there. It was about 7 out of 10 at its max. And for scent appeal, it went up and down, and performance, it went up and down. Again, didn't really care for it at the beginning, liked it a lot better in the middle part, and towards the end, it reminded me of more so my father or a shaving cream subdued freshness. Something going on in there I didn't like, and perhaps that was the Deep Forest Fusion. But I have a note here, this bar has an identity crisis because it doesn't really know what it's going to do. Now, just because I say that, and the scent notes kind of clashed and didn't mesh well for me, this may be a rock star for you. I think this is a scent that you're going to have to pick up and try and actually warm as well, because it changes as it goes. So I think if you're someone that likes unique, strange, funky kind of scents, then definitely pick this up. To me, it reads more spring and summer, and I would say for area, you might have to troubleshoot it, but for me, an enclosed medium-sized space did very well, and also an area that you have pretty good predictable performance with most other scents, it did well. Longevity, I would say, was either average or above average. And I would advise you, if you love this one, definitely club it, because I don't think we're going to see something similar come along for a long time. So not a repurchase for me, but performance was pretty good. So that is Beetlejuice. It's Showtime. All right, let's talk about our 3rd place scent for the week, as I am losing light. It is Frosted Fantasy from the Holiday Wax Collection. This is in the floral section. It's this mossy green colored wax. It had 18% of the vote. And on cold sniff, I would say it's medium to medium light. So the scent description says, notes of bergamot drift across snowdrop blossoms from a cedar wood cottage. So I did look up what a snowdrop blossom was, what a beautiful floral it is, and I will read to you here what the scent description for it is. What does snowdrop smell like? A flower with a fresh green floral perfume note. The fragrance of snowdrops is not particularly strong. In perfumery, the essence of snowdrop adds a freshness and coolness to a fragrance. For this scent, it reminds me of a variation of frosted cedar, maybe less apple, and substitute in a bergamot freshness. Not a cologne freshness bergamot, a bergamot bright freshness. And so again, no masculinity to this scent for me. It's more of a neutral or a feminine leaning scent. And I know that there's no apple in the notes, but when I was smelling this, it was taking me to the same apple note that you get in apple parsley or top dog, those kind of scents, but on a much subdued level, or frosted cedar. So I would describe this as a fresh fall and winter scent, and probably more so winter, and which is interesting because a lot of winter scents contain peppermint or mint if they're fresh. So this is a nice variation, and it's not too harsh. It's nice and easygoing. I would just say a non-intense fresh scent. It should be well accepted with the public, but I don't think it's going to be a home run with a lot of people. So it is familiar, it's not unique, but how did it do for performance? So I asked the family before I warmed it, I said, what do you think of Frosted Fantasy? My husband said 6 out of 10. Erica said not bad at 7 out of 10, which is good for her. And Ryan really liked this one at 9.5 out of 10. So I decided to warm it in Erica's room, and I warmed it in the kids' bathroom. So for Erica's room, it did very well at 7 out of 10, but it only lasted about a day and a half. In the kids' bathroom, it was between 6 and 7 out of 10, and again, I only left it in about a day and a half. So if you're someone that likes winter scents, but you don't really want a minty winter scent, but you want a fresh bedroom or bathroom scent, then this would be a good one to pick up. And the one thing to remember is I would stick to small to medium spaces for this one. Out of the 3 scents that I warmed this week, this one was the best for me, but it's one that I'm fine with just the 1 bar and I don't need to repurchase it anymore. Now, if I did see it in a bundle, it would not deter me from picking up the bundle. I liked it just fine. It's just not a repurchase. So that is Frosted Fantasy. All right, let's move to the portion of the video where I'm going to present to you some scents and you guys are going to vote. If you're new to my channel, you're going to pick 2 different scents by early Wednesday morning, put them down in the YouTube comment section. And if you can't vote on YouTube, you can find my Instagram post and put your 2 votes there. All right, so as you're watching this video, my brick first sniffs should have been posted. So hopefully you would have gotten to check that out and see what my first sniffs are. Now, we all know that first sniffs are just that. It all depends on how the scent warms. So we're gonna put the 5 brick scents up plus a license bar to fill out our 6-pack. All right, so scent number 1 is Butterscotch Brittle. Scent number 2 from the bricks is Christmas Tree. Sorry, the glare here is hard to see the titles on a good day. Scent number 3 is Salted Caramel Cider. Scent number 4 is Warm Winter Night. Scent number 5 is Wrapped in Lights. And scent number 6 is the Disney Coco Familia Comes First. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Please don't forget to vote, and I will see you guys in the next video.